Like, this is why I felt that Confessions or Kokuhaku was a better comparison with Battle Royale than Hunger Games.
Most definitely.
You have a elementary school setting, right? Where you have these bullies that went out of their way to murder one of the teacher's daughters. So the teacher decides, I'm gonna get revenge on all of you students. The easiest way I could think of on the bullies, she basically, one of the other teachers has been fired because he, like, out of pure stigma that he has AIDS.
Yeah.
So she's a science teacher, by the way. She, like, apparently took his blood and injected it into 2 of the milk cartons that she saved for her students. Basically, in Japan, you eat lunch together. Everybody gets the same meal, planned meals.
Yes.
So the 2 bullies that were responsible for drowning her daughter, they both got the infected milk. Now she just sits back and watches. What are they gonna do? Are they gonna A, infect everybody else in the class because they feel that everybody deserves to suffer with them, or B, go into a corner and try to kill himself and everybody around him that he's interacted in the last week because he thinks this will save them?
Oh, it's a very interesting character study, and that in itself is of a different note than Battle Royale, most definitely.
But
it is a closer comparison.
It's a closer comparison because they're very young. Like, whereas Hunger Games has characters of various ages. You can look at their maturity levels, how they handle the situation of getting themselves stuck here, right?
Yeah.
They're not all like, oh my god, I'm gonna die.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other major difference I would say between Battle Royale and Hunger Games is it has to relate to what you were saying, is that Battle Royale focuses on a kind of clash of very robust human personalities.
Yes.
Whereas, Hunger Games, they've got characterized ideals based on their districts.
Yes, and Confessions deals with it on a much more intimate and personal level. It just deals primarily with the three main actors, the teacher and the 2 bullies.
It has a girlfriend character quite similar to Battle Royale too. That
Yes.
works with them is like, look, I'll get infected with you.
Yes.
What else am I gonna do? And then however the character deals
I don't know,
with it,
find the
they'll
next
stay.
guy in line, you're pretty hot.
They're in like middle school too. So there are like.
Still single guys.
Yeah, so it's not exactly. I guess elementary school is the term that I use because my elementary school went from kindergarten to grade 8. But yeah, they're technically
Same.
grade 8ers, so it is middle school that they're in.
Yes.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Between the 3 of them and everything, I've got to say I enjoyed the Hunger Games the most. And maybe it's just because of the differences with Japanese cinema. But I thoroughly enjoyed the character study that was Battle Royale. It was very entertaining to see people that were killing one another just because they wanted to survive, others that were hunting down specific people because they slept with their boyfriend or whatever other reason.
I also love the moment at the end where the teacher gets shot 15 times. His phone rings, he just gets up and picks it up.
I couldn't sympathize with any of the characters in Hunger Games. I felt that they were kind of bland. Like, I enjoyed watching them. Try to survive and interact with each other, but I could not like Katniss as a character.
Marnwin's gonna stab you.
It was hard to sympathize with her because I was like, you are going out trying to survive by backstabbing your boyfriend. So in the district waiting for you to come home. Part of me was like, I can't sympathize with you after that. I'm like, you're going at it in a very dirty manner. I know that you're doing this for survival, so instead I actually like Peeta more as a character.
Well,
that's fine.
Actually,
he mentioned
it was easier to sympathize
in the
with.
second book how he's the only one who won the game without killing anyone. So even up until
Right.
up until I think it was the second book, he hasn't killed anyone.
Yeah.
And then he does finally
Yes.
in the second book.
Yes.
And that's why I don't know. I like to in my mind I like to pretend like the second and third book didn't exist.
So Peeta remains your
Yeah.
sort of golden child.
Well, not only that, I just feel like it's this sort of push that's unnecessary. Like, why are the second and third book there? I can see I can see in some ways why it exists. I still think it's unnecessary
I
for
do
those
too.
for those books to exist.
They don't need to be there.
They don't need to be
Hunger Games
there.
are over.
Yeah, like
But
what
that's the
needed
hallmark.
to be said,
But that's
was said.
But that is the hallmark of any great trilogy. It didn't function very well in this case because the second and third book weren't good. But the original Star Wars trilogy was set up this way, where you have the first portion of the trilogy introduces everyone, deals with the central issue, and taken aside from the rest of the series, functions as its own independent story and requires nothing else.
The second and third movies do the same thing.
The second film brings all the characters to their greatest low. They barely escape, and then after that, you have the third act, in which encompasses the rise back up, their eventual success, and sometimes dealing with the aftermath.
Yes. But they can all still function as individual movies.
No, only the first one can function as an individual. The second one and the third one rely on the first and one another. But it's a classic Greek trilogy setup, where it's the way that Hunger Games is set up, and it's been very successful in the past. It's just that you need to maintain a certain amount of quality throughout, which this doesn't, unfortunately. It falls flat on its face because of the direction they take it.
Yeah. Though I'm sure a lot of the audience will disagree.
What the? I don't care. It's my opinion.
But I do agree with you. It does. Not saying I didn't enjoy reading it.
Fair enough.
Not to say, but I did like, especially the second one is really bland to me. The third one did pick up a little, but again, there's a lot of stuff in there that is just sort of like,
Right.
it's like Aragon. It's kind of like, just get to the point. Just get to the point. And I'm not even like a big on getting to the point. Like Waiting for Godot.
Well, there is no point.
There is no point to that. I love Waiting for Godot, but the whole point of that is that there is no point, and then
It's
just
essential.
Well, I think with Waiting for Godot, they get to the point that there is no point really quickly.
yeah.
Well,
And it's like
Sure.
it's just like sometimes it wins, sometimes it doesn't win, and I think Hunger Games is like this weird struggle between like winning and failing, and then it's just
Because the
it's just
movie
kinda
itself, I think the movie itself
it-
does well, though.
yes,
Yeah.
the movie does it very successfully, but the
But
books do not.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I think that's the problem with adaptation.
Yeah.
that's not the
Well,
problem.
no.
it's the
That's
great
one of the few.
success of
Exactly.
adaptation.
Okay, no,
That's
that's
one
a
of the few
success.
successes of adaptation. I love
That
it.
actually is a
Yeah.
success.
Like there's this I know this is a little off topic, but Howl's Moving Castle, it was a brilliant adaptation. It's nothing like the books, but the book itself is also a brilliant book. Both very good, both
Yes.
entirely different, but
Howl's
The Lord of the
Moving
Rings
Castle is a trilogy. There's more. But
The Lord of the Rings trilogy. Fantastic movies, fantastic books. Sort of. If you're into that sort of overarching. Okay, fine.
I
The
do
books.
like
The books
it.
drag on and on.
Chronicles of Narnia, though.
I like the books.
I like the
Them-
books too,
I like the books for that too.
which is kind of ironic.
For Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I love the Lord of the Rings books.
I love Narnia
There's a
as
lot
well.
of please get to the point.
Yes, definitely.
But I think there's a...
But he does it in a way that I can forgive. That's the
Simply
biggest
because it
difference.
establishes the world in a much greater degree,
Yes,
to the
like-
point where you can draw the map.
Yes, it's a different kind of tactic of get to the point, and I can forgive it. But for
Okay. Our cameraman has just informed us that we should wrap things up. So keep talking.
I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
forgivable and sometimes it isn't. Anyways, I'm Mernwin.
I'm Maya.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Das Hat. Thank you for watching Buzz Banter. We'll see you when we see you.
Let us know what you think about the trilogies and the movie, the books.
However much we hate it, you cannot send us hate mail for the simple reason that we bought the thing. Author got the money.